Hey guys, so I'm just on my way to the poker club in Kanawaki. I'm playing a tournament today, so I'm pretty excited. It's actually my first live tournament in I think around 5 years, because I used to play about 4 live tournaments a year, maybe 4 or 5 live tournaments a year, and then it was COVID, and then when so it was a year and a half, like no live poker, and then when I came back, I just didn't play any live tournaments. And I've always preferred cash games. I mean, I always think to me, real poker is cash tables, right? Because you sit there, you got your chips, you got the the real money in the pot. You can win $1,000 on a hand, and you can come and go whenever you want. And to me, that's real poker, right? And same thing with online too. I prefer online cash, and not only that, when I play cash tables online, I don't even I don't change the settings to big blinds. I just have it in real dollars because I like to see the real money. I mean, it's to me, it's fun, it's exciting. If you're playing online, say you're playing 2-5 and you have 1K, it just says 1K, it doesn't say 200 blinds, and then you get a 2K pot, and I just like seeing that real money. I find it exciting. But tourneys are interesting too. I've been playing, I do still play online tournaments. I'll play about, again, I'm not playing many tournaments. I mean, maybe I'm playing about 10 online tournaments a year, or 20, let's say 10, 20 online tournaments a year. But I haven't played any live in 5 years. So I guess a quick recap for my for my tournament career. So online, I'm up around 50K in tourneys, which is pretty good, I think. I mean, I've played a lot of them though. Probably played if you go back, I've probably played, like 3,000 online tournaments maybe. So yeah, maybe I've played like 3,000 online tournaments, and I'm up like 50K over, like 20 years or something. And then for live, I was playing about 4 a year. So for live tournaments, I guess I can separate them into categories. So there's the tourneys that I usually play, which are 3K, or whatever. Let's just say 300 buy-in anywhere to 3K, right? So maybe I played like 50 tournaments where 300 buy-in anywhere to 3K. And if you look at my results over whatever, let's just say 15 years or whatever, from 21 to 31. I think I was up around $15,000 in those tournaments, which is pretty good. But then I also played the main event 3 times, so that's 3 buy-ins of 10K, and I went 0 for 3, so I lost 30K playing the main 3 times. So overall in live tournaments, I'm down probably around 15,000 lifetime in live tournaments, which obviously to me is disappointing. And not only that, I've never final tabled a live tournament. Other than when I was very young, playing a tournament where it's $100 buy-in, maybe I won a few of those. But any tournament where the buy-in was, let's say, 300 or more, I've never final tabled. So yeah, maybe I've played about 50 or 60 of them, and I think I've cashed. I mean, I guess you can Google my Hendon Mob. I'm not sure what it says, but I think maybe I have 7 caches, maybe, or 6 caches, and all of them, or I've had maybe, I don't know how many caches I have. Maybe I have 8 caches. I don't know, but I know I have maybe 5 or 6 times I've come top 40 in a tournament, but I've never final tabled, so that's disappointing. My biggest score in a live tournament was a long time ago. I think it was 2011. So yeah, I played the main event. I played the main event 3 times. I played it in 2011, 2013, and 2014. It never cashed. I made day 3 twice and day 2 once. But back then too, when I was playing it, it was only 10% made the money. So I think you had to make day 4 to make the money back then. But anyway, so in 2011, I remember I played a 6-max tourney. It was a 1,500 buy-in, a 6-max. I think it probably had around 2,000 people in it, and I came 11th place. So that was my biggest score in a live tournament, and I cashed for 25K, which was exciting. But I mean, when you're 11 people left, obviously you're thinking about first place, which was $500,000, and that would have been pretty crazy. I mean, I was 22 years old, so that would have been pretty nuts if I hit that $500,000 score. And I remember I lost 2 king-queen suited to pocket 6s, so that's too bad. And yeah, when you go far in a tourney, you're winning all your flips. So when you get in that big flip, I had king-queen suited to pocket 6s, I obviously thought I was going to win, because I'd been winning every flip for 3 straight days, right? But anyway, so I busted 11th, and that was it. So a few things. I mean, to me, I guess the biggest problem I have with tournaments is that day 1. To me, that's the hardest part of a tournament, is day 1. Because in day 1, most tournaments, you don't make the money till day 2, right? A lot of live tournaments. So when I'm playing a tournament on day 1, I just find it hard to get excited or motivated. I mean, you're sitting there, essentially you don't feel like you're playing for any money because because you can't like see the money, and you're not, you know, whether you last 1 hour or 4 hours or whatever it is, you're not going to get any money. So you don't like, I don't know, it's just, I find it hard to get excited on that day one. It's a lot of whatever, you know, early stages tourney. Even when you win big pots in tourneys, they technically don't, they kind of feel like they don't matter that much because you're so far away from the money or from the final table. But once you make day two, then I find tourneys get pretty exciting. And it's interesting too, because let's say you're in a tournament, let's say you're in day two in a tournament, let's say you've already been cashed for $1,000, okay? And maybe on that day, you play two levels, let's say, to the next break, and now instead of cashing for 1,000, you've cashed for 1,200 because you're moving up the pay ladder. So to me, like, it's exciting because now you're like, all right, you know, I've played 2 hours today and I've already, you know, banked another $200. So now you kind of get the sense that you're playing for money, and it seems like you're getting excited because maybe now you're starting to think about, you know, final tabling or something, and you're also realizing, you know, the longer I play, the more I get paid, right? So, you know, maybe you cash for 1,000, a few more hours pass, now you cash for 1,200, maybe you play for 3 more hours, now you've cashed for 3K. So now you feel the money, like it's starting to come in, and now you feel like you're getting paid to play, which is exciting. So yeah, at day one I do find tough, but yeah, day two is always exciting. My other problem with the tournaments is the stalling part. So I mean, like, whatever, obviously I love poker, and when people are stalling, it kind of makes it less fun, right? But at the same time, when you're in a tournament and people are stalling, it kind of is in your favor, because the whole point of a tournament is to last as long as you can. So, you know, when people are stalling, it's annoying because, like, you want to play poker, but at the same time, you're kind of happy about it because you're like, oh, I guess this is technically benefiting me. And that's also why I prefer live cash. That's why I prefer cash games, is because nobody stalls and everyone's trying to play it. For the most part, people are trying to play fast, and it's exciting. But whatever. What else? So yeah, I mean, obviously there's good things and bad things with the tourney. Obviously, I don't like being stuck. The feeling of being stuck in a tournament is kind of frustrating. I mean, it's nice to be in a cash. Well, it kind of goes both ways, actually, because in a cash table, it's interesting because, you know, you might be playing and whatever, you can be tired and you can leave or whatever it is, or maybe you're running really bad and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get out of here, or, you know, the fish leaves the table, and instead of like waiting for the next fish, you're like, all right, now's a good time to leave, or you can go home and hang with your family and whatever it is, or go for dinner. But then with tourneys, I think one of the cool things about it, because like it's annoying that you're stuck in the tourney, but at the same time it is kind of cool because of like maybe just the intensity of it all. Because there's part of me that feels like when you're in a tournament, it's like all that matters is like that tournament. It's like, so it's kind of a good escape, right? Because you're in the tournament, you're feeling intense, you have your chips stacked, and you kind of, there's part of you that feels like as long as, you know, that as long as your chips aren't at zero, right? Yeah, as long as you have like that chip in the chair, you have a chance, right? Mathematically, no matter, as long as you have some chips, you have a chance. And I know too, I think, I've done online, I've done okay in tourneys. I've had a few 20K scores, and I know for online, I think one of those 20K scores, I was down to like 1 blind with like 25 people left, where I lost like a big flip or something. I was left with like 1 blind, and then I came back and won the tournament. So it is always possible. So yeah, I'm interested. Damn, I don't know what's going on. So right now I'm stuck in traffic, and I guess there's some kind of construction going on. I'm off to Kanawaki too, and especially because I never know on the weekends what, you know, bridges or roads are gonna be open or closed. So right now, I don't know what's going on, but we're not moving. But I guess I can talk about a few other things maybe. What else? Nah, I don't know. I was thinking about tourneys. I mean, I guess also, well, another thing too, which is the one thing I guess you could say with tournaments, which you really can't get in cash, is like that moment where all of a sudden you can make so much money compared to what you bought in with, right? So you play a tourney for $500, or whatever it is, and all of a sudden you're looking at winning 200 grand or something, right? Or now it's actually realistic, you can win 200 grand. And then, I mean, there's been a few tournaments online I've played where it was like a $200 buy-in, and they got so many people where first place was like $1 million, right? So you're putting in 200, and all of a sudden, I mean, I never got to experience that high, I guess, but I imagine if you put in $200, if you make that final table and you're playing for $1 million, that must be a crazy feeling, right? So yeah, it is. I mean, tourney is that whole idea about getting that big tourney score. I think is awesome. I guess to whatever. To me, like tourneys, I just think it's technically like never worth it. Like I think you're always better off playing the cash tables. And yeah, so I haven't played a live tournament in 5 years. And whatever, even online when you play tournaments, you can be playing cash tables on the side. It's pretty rare I'm playing only a tournament. Often I'll have like, maybe I'll be playing a tournament and I'll have 2 cash tables going at the same time, right? So live, to play only a live tournament, it does seem a little bit like it's not great value, but compared to the cash tables, but whatever. I always think too, especially with tournaments, your goal really has to be to like enjoy yourself and have a good time. And I think that's essentially, my goal every time I play a tournament. It really is to just have fun, because like that's why you're there, right? It's a tournament, you're supposed to have fun, play well, enjoy being in the tournament. It's fun too to kind of just watch the players at your table and see some guys get knocked out. Obviously watch some guys go on heaters. Hopefully you can go on some heaters. And yeah, there's always that sense of excitement. It's cool too, the whole like tournament life thing, right? Cash tables, you put a guy all in on the river, whatever, they might fold, they might call. If they call and they're wrong, they can reload or do whatever they want. Whereas in a tournament, if you put some guy all in, they can, if they make the wrong decision, they're out of the tournament. Or if you're all in pre and whatever it is, they can hit that card that sends them home. So I mean, that's always exciting. And yeah, I guess there's a lot of interesting elements of the tournament. And then the other thing too, I guess, which bothers me about tournaments, or why I prefer cash, is just how many blinds you're playing with, right? So in a cash table, I always say this, in a cash table, a big pot would be 400 blinds, right? Or 300 blinds. Whereas on like a tourney, a big pot is like 30 blinds, right? Or 20 blinds could be considered a big pot in a tournament. So it's just like, to me, there's just a better, how do you explain it? I don't know. To me, there's just more poker going on in a cash table. To me, it's a lot more interesting to me. I think there's like a deeper level going on. There's, I don't know. Tourneys essentially, right? The reason they raise the blinds is because, if they didn't raise the blinds, everybody could just keep folding. So the tourneys, you're kind of forced to just eventually go all in, or you're forced to be aggressive. And yeah, it's exciting, and trying to think of some positives for these tournaments. Yeah, whatever. I don't know what else to say really. I guess I'm just rambling about nothing at this point, but yeah, I hope to run good. And yeah, I really do hope to make day 2. I always say that too with tournaments. It's like when you make the money, it's always like a fun experience. Even if you lose, obviously you're like frustrated, if you get knocked out of the tournament, but it's nice to play a tournament and like you get the experience and you book a profit. So hopefully I'll make the money, and I'm assuming. So I think it's a so it's a $500 tournament, but it's I don't know the exact number, but I think they have like 6 day ones or something. So I'm playing the final day 1, which is usually the best one to play, right, in terms of just the action and the value. So maybe it's like day 1F or something that I'm playing, and then tomorrow is day 2, and then I think the final day is Monday, which would be day 3. So I'm assuming if you make day 2, that's probably in the money. So maybe everyone that makes day 2 min cashes or something. So yeah, so I definitely hope to make day 2 and go from there and, experience some sort of excitement. And yeah, who knows, maybe this could be the tourney I final table. And yeah, another thing online too, at least my MO has always been, I understand it's like variance and luck, but it's always been whenever I final table tourneys, I always do well at the final table. So it seems like online, whenever I do final table, it feels like I'm always coming first, second, or third anytime I final table. So that's a great thing. I understand it's a lot of luck, but it's like, I know there's some people where they complain about, every time I make the final table, I always come 9th and 8th. And yeah, that's what happens if you're like, get unlucky when it matters. But it seems like I'm always coming first, second, or third when I do final table. And so yeah, I guess it gives me more confidence, even though I understand obviously a lot of luck has a lot to do with it. But like I said, I'd love to. I've never final tabled a live tournament. I've probably played around 60 of them, so I would really love to final table one. And I've always thought that if I ever did final table, then my mentality is that I would come first and win the tournament. So all right, well, that's all for now, guys. I guess I'll let you know how my tournament goes. Day 1, take things one day at a time, one level at a time. And all right, hopefully I can make day 2, and then hopefully I'll be letting you guys know that I won this tournament. All right, that's all for now. Have a good weekend, everyone. See ya.